This is a very interesting question. I've created most of the big sales agents in this business, and Image and Franchise and Millennium and you name them. The Foresight and Mark Damon and just really dozens and dozens of them. I put it together over the years. The key is the bankability of the sales agent. So, because what happens is a good sales agent will be able to look at the project, look at the cast above the line, and look at the genre. And they can make an estimate on the foreign side, which is everything except the U.S., sometimes the U.S. and Canada. They can make an estimate within 5 to 10% of what they're going to be able to get. And they give you a range. They give you an ask, which is the dream, and sort of a medium, and the take price. So there could be a difference of 50% between the take and the ask, or 100%. The ask price is the dream price. And so banks look at the take price, which is the lowest price possible. And if the sales agent is bankable, meaning that he has a reputation of actually delivering over the years these kind of, based on his estimates within a certain percentage, the banks will loan money based upon some of his estimates. So that's what you want. You want a bankable sales agent. You want a reputable one. And you want one that has decent motion pictures out there, so your picture is not the one that drives all the bad ones. You want to be really in a company of really good pictures, not a bunch of $250,000 horror pictures, and then you suddenly have a $20 million picture with them. It's not going to fly. And you want a sales agent that has more than one or two movies. You want one that has a continuous flow of products, so the foreign buyers will continuously buy from them, and they have a list of ongoing customers from different countries. So selecting the right sales agent is quite important. The key basically is that if you can get what you call a gross corridor, you're in great shape. And a gross corridor basically says that 10 or 15% from every dollar obtained goes directly to the collection account. But if you can't get that, then it's really a question of who do you trust? Contracts that I've done with the Weinstein Company provide for theatrical release, but then and that's what they have touted, but when you give them the movie, they at that point decide, no, we're just going to go in direct to video or direct to VOD. The big key issue really in the independent side of the film business, as opposed to the studio side, which really, you're really at the mercy of the studio. How do you protect yourself? As I say, you have to monitor you have to really define the what they call adjusted receipts, gross receipts. And that really depends on the project. If you're bringing a project to them, you're pretty well blocked. The only way you're going to get any kind of deal is if they come to you and want to be involved with you. But in the independent side, Lionsgate, and some of the other players in the mini majors, they call them, there you really have to be quite careful because they take a piece of the action. Lionsgate will take anywhere from 40 to 50% of the, quote, net profits, if they're ever. So but the good news about those mini majors is that they will give you an advance. And that advance could be used to finance the picture. The advance could be, it's not necessarily very high, but a few $1 million is better than nothing. It's good to have a domestic U.S. deal in order to generate interest in the foreign market, because if a U.S. distributor is interested, it becomes sort of a preferred picture in the foreign marketplace. So with companies such as Lionsgate, you have to make sure that their holdback is not, they can hold back the release, and they will not want any of your foreign distributors to touch the movie before they've had a chance to release it. Otherwise, it goes into the wide world of pirates, at which point it's a dead picture for all purposes. That fear, this holdback issue becomes a real problem. How long are they going to hold back the release, and will their holdback satisfy the foreign buyers? You need a good audit provision, you need a good attorney, and you need, because those, and you need to really, if they're going to do theatrical release, you really have to be able to penalize them if they don't do that. And Lionsgate will give itself an option to release it in theaters, but normally they will not. And or maybe release it in one or two, and the rest, and it'll be concurrent with the VOD release, video on demand. And at that point, it's gone. So what you see from the independent, from the small mini majors, is what you're going to get in reality. Because even if the movie is a blockbuster, after they take their big fee and all their costs, and there is some net profits, then they gobble 50% of that before you even have a dime. So the benefit of doing a domestic distribution deal is really for financing of the picture, and you hope you make your money from the foreign market. That's the way it goes.